Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We have a whole lot of news for you. In fact, you guys have been hearing a whole lot about Gabon, coup d'etats. They have become a contagion, a disease that is spreading like flu. All the dictators in Africa are worried, okay? So we have a whole lot of, especially like Gabon, which is a new one. We have inside information we're going to share with you on Gabon. Remember, Gabon is a particular case. I went to the university, grad school, with a lot of those Gabonese guys who come from Lewai, Bongoville, the village of Bongo. So they have fed me with a lot of information I'm going to share with you today. This information is nowhere in the media. So these are guys who come from Bongo's village. I will tell you why this coup d'etat, all the secrets I'm going to tell you about the coup d'etat in Gabon. But before we start with that, I want to say thank you to all our subscribers. You subscribe and we get more views, but continue subscribing and continue sharing the videos with your friends. Without further ado, the subject of today is just going to be about coup d'etats in Africa as a sign of the disintegration of Frankafrique, which is the French empire that was built by Charles de Gaulle in most of those so-called former French colonies. Everything is falling apart. Things are falling apart. Falling apart, as W.B. Yeats says in the poem. Achebe used the words in that poem for his novel, Things Fall Apart. Things are falling apart for the French Empire. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, is just confused. He doesn't know what to do again. Because the African youth, Africa activism is on the rise. They don't know what to do. France is worried. The dictators in Africa are worried. So everybody is just confused. So we have so much, starting with the Central African Republic. That's the next port of call. Where are the following coups going to take place? The first place, we're going to knock on the door of the Central African Republic. Assange Touadera has been president of this country, but because of bad governance, clientelism, kleptocracy, this is making his country, the Central African Republic, to be a fertile ground for coup d'etat. Whenever people are disaffected, the military guys are exploiting the anger, the pent-up anger of Africans in the streets as an excuse to change government violently. They are the only ones who have the instruments of violence. The state instruments of violence are in their hands. The populace is used now to just being quiet. They cannot change their predicament. So they are stuck in their predicament. So they worship the military whenever the military decides to rise against the powers that be. Interestingly, a lot of time the military has been sustaining these dictators. But it gets to a point where the guys just decided, okay, we've had enough. Because the population cannot change the government, sometimes because of family feud, as you're going to see in a lot of countries, like Gabon and Cameroon, the military guys decide to change the government. In the case of the Central African Republic, Assange Touadera has decided to change the constitution, which is not something legal. He has rigged elections twice, and now he wants to change the constitution so that he can run for a third term, which is not legal. Now, the population is unhappy. They vented their anger, but Assange Touadera is using the army plus the support of Russia, especially the Wagner group, to stay in power. When the military guy decide now to kick him out, people will start complaining, oh, coup d'etat, ECOWAS start crying, coup d'etat, coup d'etat. You look at a video that you guys have shared a lot of videos with us this morning. This video has to do with Évariste Touadera. This is the son of Assange Touadera in Russia. It looks like Assange Touadera's son, Évariste, is having mental problems. So he's been going through a lot of psychological treatment, therapies in Russia. So he was supposed to be taken to Moscow, and he started fighting with his therapist. We have a lot of videos we can show you with this young man. He slapped a therapist, male. The next, he slapped another therapist who is a female.
I mean, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Okay. Don't touch me. Okay. Don't touch me. Okay. Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me. You understand? I say don't touch me.
Подожди.
Mais je ne veux pas les entendre. On ne se connaît pas.
When you watch this video, they can see how this child is an outlaw, an outcast. French people say mal élevé, badly brought up child. This child is acting like this because he feels the president is his father. You can do nothing to him, and it's true. Even the Russians were afraid to do anything to him. He slapped them. He slapped a guy, then slapped a lady. They didn't do anything to him because they are afraid. Because of the natural resources Russia is getting from the Central African Republic, they are willing to tolerate all these types of dignified ways of living. They accept it. They tolerate it because they are taking the natural resources from the Central African Republic. They're enjoying it so they can tolerate such slights. Next, we'll take you to La République du Cameroon. La République du Cameroon is another area where you've had clientelism, kleptocracy, all forms of bad government. The guy who is in power, Paul Biya, has been in power since 1975, and he doesn't want to leave. This week, as news of the coup in Gabon hit Cameroon, Paul Biya decided to reshuffle his military. A lot of generals were retired. A lot of people were removed from their position. Then he looked for those who are loyal and promoted them. Then he put more people to watch over the army. Is this going to insulate him from coup d'etats? We think he's really wasting his time. In fact, one of the pastors who was prophesying that the next port of call for the coup d'etat is La République du Cameroon. People are angry over so many things. People are tired of Biya. There's Biya fatigue. And you have the Anglophone war, the Ambazonian revolution. Then in the north, you have Boko Haram and a lot of other problems. People feel like this country is not moving. Biya has killed the country. So this is an environment which is ripe for a coup d'etat. When a coup d'etat happens today, you don't be surprised that Cameroonians are going to be jubilating. They're going to be jubilating because for so many years, they've tried multipartyism, but Biya doesn't want multipartyism to reign. He makes sure he rigs every election. So the people are really tired of him. So he may change the army officers. We think this is just a waste of time. Watch a video of Pastor Elijah Ayodele, who was making fun of Paul Biya and prophesying that they're going to kick him out in a coup d'etat. Watch it for a minute.
The Gabonese matter, there are a lot of things that will still come out of it. Let them be very comfortable. They should not allow anybody to intervene into their matter. Because a crisis is about to come up, maybe they sign the next president, which there will be differences. But however, the coup in Niger, the coup in Gabon, no international influence in it. So we should expect further coup. In the next 10 months from now, we should expect another coup that will shock the African leaders. We should expect it.
Okay, thank you for watching it. Next, we're going to take you to Congo. In Africa, we have two Congos. We have Congo DRC and we have Congo Brazzaville. Congo DRC is going to be having elections soon. This is another country where the guy who won the election did not get into power. The guy who did not win, Felix Tshisekedi, is the one who got into power as a result of a Faustian deal with Joseph Kabila. And the people are very unhappy. There is insecurity in the east of the country. For so long, the army has been fighting with rebels in the east, especially the M23. But Felix Tshisekedi has not been able to stem the tide of this army, this revolt. It grows and grows. The menace is still growing. Rwanda is even exploiting this rebellion to really milk the resources of Congo DRC. Yet, the ineffective Felix Tshisekedi still wants to be president. In fact, December is going to be the time for presidential elections in Congo DRC. Felix Tshisekedi is running, and of course, he's going to declare himself the winner because he controls the Electoral Commission, Senai. Because he does this, he's going to declare himself the winner, and nobody is going to say anything, so he'll win unopposed. The opposition is going to cry foul. So just know that Joseph Kabila is still lurking behind. He's watching, and some of his guys would want to try something. They want to overthrow Felix Tshisekedi. So just watch. Then we take you to the other Congo. It's another bad guy who has been running this country for so long, exploiting all the resources of Congo, Brazzaville. Okay? He's wasting his time running this country, enjoying all the resources with his family. Then he's even trying to make his own son to take over from him as president. The people are very unhappy. Yet, we are thinking this is going to be the next port of call of coup d'etat. So just watch. This video is about places where coup d'etats are going to take place in Africa. And we're giving you the signs. Congo Brazzaville, Denis Sassou Nguesso. It's time for him to go. They're going to hit him. Next, we take you to Equatorial Guinea. We have Obiang, Theodoro Obiang Nguema. He killed his uncle to take over power. He's an unusual dictator. He's brutal, but people feel like he has done a lot to help his country. But his detractors are saying not much has really changed. What we see is just like a facade of progress, not real progress. So they are still criticizing him. So the military is planning to also stage a coup d'etat and take him out. So that's another port of call for coup d'etats. So just be watching Equatorial Guinea. Theodoro, the son of Obiang, is a playboy of the Western world. He dates all these pretty American models. And Eve, the former, I think, famous rapper, was one of his girlfriends. We'll watch a lot of videos of the guy's property seized in France and even the United States. So, but he is just a playboy with no brains. His father installs him, yet he just wants to enjoy life. So this is a guy, his father wants to succeed him, yet the guy doesn't have the temperament and the mettle to be a dictator. His father is very frustrated. So Equatorial Guinea is another place where we are expecting a coup d'etat. Maybe on the eve of his ascent to power, they will stage a coup d'etat and just take him out because he's a baby who doesn't really understand the machinations of the real world. Next, we take you to the real place, Gabon.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost effective. Real treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland, Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
Gabon is where we want to really share a whole lot of information with you right now. Gabon is a small country, but they have a lot of oil resources and wood. All these resources have been exploited by one family, Bongo. And you'll be asking, how did it happen that the Bongo family started exploiting the wealth of Gabon? Well, because of the system of Frankafrique created by Charles de Gaulle. We've talked about Frankafrique so many times on this show. Frankafrique is a system that France established while giving independence to African countries. They gave them independence with the left hand, then they took it back with the right hand. So in actual fact, the African countries did not really have independence. They just had what we call flag or the hoax of independence. France forced them to sign cooperative agreements so that they will provide support to the African leader in case of a military coup d'etat. Okay, in return, the African leader would surrender all the resources of the country to France. So those were very bad colonial agreements, and they are still in force up to today. Now the public is discovering these agreements, and the public is angry. When you look at the case of Gabon, the coup d'etat that just happened is also sending shockwaves all over Africa. All the presidents are scampering, getting scared like chicken. Okay? But what really happened? From the very beginning, the guy who started ruling Gabon is called Lion Ba. This is a guy who was president. He was handpicked by the French. Okay? He was handpicked by the French to rule Gabon. This guy did not even want France to give independence to his country. He was complaining that, oh, no, I don't want my country to be independent. No, France. Guess what happened? The French told him that, boy, don't worry. We're still going to be here with you. We're not going anywhere. What we're doing is just to fool your people. We're going to still be in Gabon. You're going to be just our boy in charge. You're going to be our governor. You're not a president. So don't think we're going anywhere. So Lion Ba became the first president of Gabon. Then a coup d'etat was staged. So the French helped him to fight the rebels and restore him to power. Because of the role Bongo, who was his assistant, played, Lion Ba trusted Bongo. While he was on his dying bed, he decided to give Bongo a gift. For saving him in the coup d'etat, Bongo was a loyal lieutenant, so he wanted Bongo to take over the country. So when he died, the French supported Bongo to continue running the country. And Bongo was the best student of Frankafrique. He made sure that the French got everything they wanted. He financed all the elections in France. He had these suitcases of money that he gave to French politicians. It is well known. Bongo perfected the whole Frankafrique clientelism system. In France, ministers were afraid of Bongo. He financed the elections. He used his oil wealth. Oil companies such as Elf and Total dominated the landscape in Gabon. And when you go to Gabon, you see a tale of two cities. The Gabon for the rich and the Gabon for the poor. So even though Gabon has a lot of money and oil wealth, this money has stayed within the Bongo family. And today, when you see a coup d'etat happen, people are asking, why did this coup d'etat happen? We've done a lot of homework, and we can share this with you. For once, we told you, we have so many friends in Gabon. Personally, I went to school, grad school, at American University in the early 80s with a lot of these guys from Bongo's village. So I know them personally. So they fill me with a lot of information. What you see here is not really a real coup d'etat. It's just a palace coup, which means the Bongo system is still intact. If you look at what the guy who really won the election in Gabon, but he was not declared a winner, Albert Ondo Osa. He's the one who really won the election, but they did not want him to be president. Ali Bongo and his cronies just decided to declare victory. The military exploited family divisions in the Bongo clan to declare Oligui Nguema as president, Brice Oligui Nguema as president. But who is Brice Oligui Nguema? He used to be the former bodyguard of Bongo. So he's an insider, and we understand he's a cousin of Ali Bongo. Okay? So he's still part of that family. Why did he stage this coup d'etat? As we told you, this is just a palace coup d'etat, okay? Brice Oligui Nguema is not even a clean guy himself. From the research we've conducted, we understand he owns a lot of properties in Washington, D.C. And when they ask him, where did you get the money to buy all these properties? He says, it's a private matter. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. That's my private stuff. I can steal the money of my country. Don't ask me such questions. So this is a guy who is going to be running Gabon. We want you to know this. So don't have any kind of misconceptions. Things have not really changed much in Gabon. The family still has the money. Then, of course, another power behind the throne is Pascaline Bongo. You may not know anything about Pascaline Bongo. She's a woman in the shadows. She was one of the favorite daughters of Omar Bongo. His brother Ali Bongo took over and became president, but they've always had a family feud. The two don't really get along, especially Pascaline and Sylvie Bongo, Ali Bongo's wife. They never really get along. They make up, they break up again, they make up, they break up again. So they've always had this family feud. When Omar Bongo died in 2009, he left a lot of money because he had over 53 children. But Pascaline was the executor of his estate. One of the French newspapers called Mediapart has done extensive research and investigations on the theft, the pillaging of Gabon by the Bongo family. In fact, Fanny Peugeot is one of the famous French journalists who has done a lot of work on the Bongo family. Even their instrument of corruption, which is called Delta Synergies, that's a company the Bongo family created to steal all the resources of the country. When you look at France, the Bongo family owns villas, big buildings in France, all using the money and wealth of Gabon. While the Gabonese people are poor, the Bongo family has all the wealth. They're enjoying all the wealth, and it's a really sad tale of suffering. So which is why when you see the military takeover, Brice Oligui Nguema is just trying to clean the image of Omar Bongo's family. Ali Bongo is making a charade of power. Ali Bongo is sick. You look at the video, I don't know what is going on. He's ineffective. A few years ago, some guys in the army staged a coup d'etat, but the same Brice Oligui Nguema eliminated them. But this time, he's trying to show up the image of the Bongos. And we may even think that Pascaline Bongo has a hand in this coup d'etat. It looks like she must have given the go-ahead to Brice Oligui Nguema to kick his junior brother out. And that's why the coup d'etat happened. So now we've given you the perspective. You begin to see what really happened in Gabon. So we're going to be giving you more information. But let's leave Gabon alone and go to Niger. For many weeks now, you've been hearing about the coup in Niger. This week, there's an intensification. There's a deterioration of the relation between the French government and the Niger junta. Macron has been making a lot of noise, but the junta has manipulated the population to walk to the French air base where they have over 1,500 French soldiers to protest. So the junta is very media savvy. They are really using the population to give the impression that there is public discontent in Niger and the people are anti-French. So Macron doesn't really know what to do. Even the ambassador, Sylvain Ity, has been asked to leave. He has been declared as persona non grata in Niger. ECOWAS is a toothless bulldog. Tinubu wants to take action against most of these coup countries like Niger, but he doesn't really have the teeth to bite. And that's why the junta is playing a cat and mouse game with him and ECOWAS. The AU is the same. It's a dictator's club. They don't have the mettle to fight and counteract a coup d'etat. So, which is why people keep asking me, Prince Ojong, one coup happens, the next one happens, what is ECOWAS doing to reverse these coups? ECOWAS is a toothless bulldog. The UN is the same thing. They cannot do anything to the junta. So more coup d'etats will continue happening. Okay? And the next one we're going to look at is Rwanda. Just like Paul Biya in Cameroon, Paul Kagame of Rwanda decided to reshuffle his cabinet immediately he heard news of the coup in Gabon. It sent shockwaves in Rwanda. Paul Kagame demoted and sent a lot of generals into retirement. Then he demoted so many army officers he thought were not loyal to him. Then he promoted the young officers who were his sycophants as a way to preempt any coup d'etat in his country. But is this a safe measure? We don't think so. It's going to happen. It's like a natural reaction. It's going to happen whether Paul Kagame likes it or not. The only solution is to introduce good governance, which most of these presidents don't want to do. From Rwanda now, we'll take you to Senegal.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
This week, we're told that Ousmane Sonko, a member of the opposition, the guy who wants to become president of Senegal, he had to call off his hunger strike. Okay, he's been on hunger strike for a while, protesting the way the government of Macky Sall is handling him. So Senegal is another port of call for coup d'etat. It's going to happen because Macky Sall doesn't want democracy to reign in that country. So the army will be forced now to exploit the people's discontent and take over power from Macky Sall. That's what we're seeing. So that's another port of call for coup d'etats. Then what about Togo? Togo is probably the first place a coup d'etat took place in Africa. When I look at Togo, especially with the overthrow of Sylvanus Olympio, a graduate of the London School of Economics, by Nasingbe Eyadema, the father of this Fore Eyadema who is now. They killed this guy in cold blood just because they wanted to take over and install somebody who is a French puppet. And for a long time, that's what has happened. The Togolese people are complaining about bad governance, but the French continue supporting the Eyadema family because all the resources in that country are going to French companies. Look at Bolloré. Bolloré controls the whole of Togo. All the shipping stuff is controlled by Bolloré. So they keep Fore Nasingbe in power. Yet, a lot of people are angry. So when people see Nasingbe Eyadema in ECOWAS complaining about coup d'etats, how did he himself come to power? He had a constitutional coup d'etat. They had to force him to give up, but the generals in his country were supporting him, so that's how he won the election, because the generals wanted him to take over from his father. So this is sad. And finally, coup d'etats. The last port of call is Uganda. Uganda is a country of Yoweri Museveni. Uganda has never been a French colony, but Uganda has a history of bad governance, starting even with Idi Amin and Obote and all these guys. Bad governance, bad governance. Bad governance is fertile ground for coup d'etats. So what can we do to stop coup d'etats in Africa, you may ask? It's a simple solution. The presidents need to remember that they should not be sit-tight. The president should stop breaking the institutions of the country. They should stop hijacking all these institutions, because when they weaken these institutions, they make coup d'etats fertile ground. A guy was asking me, why is it that African countries are very fragile? You just take over the presidency, the country is down. Yes, because when the presidents come to power, they weaken all the institutions in the country so that they can control the country easily. Then the presidency remains the only center of power in the country. As a result, coup d'etat leaders have learned that if I can just take over the presidency, then I've taken the country. Because most of the time, the presidential guards have the best weapons in the country. The armory is not even accessible to generals of the army. Only the president's bodyguards have access to the armory. So if you want to do a coup d'etat, you have to have access to all these arms. You have to have access to money. So this is a sad thing with coup d'etats in Africa. I think we've asked the questions you wanted us to ask, and we've addressed them also. So we thank you very much for watching this video. May God bless you. Bye-bye.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.